Oh God, I can't see. Okay. Well, I think I'm live. It says I've been live for 19 seconds, so I think I'm on. Let me know if anybody can see me or hear me. I would definitely appreciate that. I'm going to try to make this bigger. Well, maybe I shouldn't try to make it bigger. Okay, so doesn't look like anybody's watching. I'm assuming that you guys can watch the replay, so I am going to go ahead and get started. I wasn't originally going to do this as a live video, but I posted that question in the communities tab, and I only got like 6 or 7 questions. And so I thought, well, I'm not going to make a video for like 6 questions. I'll just go live and I'll answer the questions, and then there'll be a video for you guys to watch with the answers to the questions. And if anybody pops on while I'm doing the video, then we can answer a video or a question live on the video. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And then if I see anybody pop in and ask a question, then I'll answer that to the best of my ability. So thank you for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it. The first question I have is actually from a fellow YouTuber who does thrifting as well. His name is Will. I always think it's kind of funny because he goes to Goodwill's too, and his name is Will. So like Goodwill. I don't know. I think it's cute, but I really enjoy watching him, and I made some comments, and clearly we kind of subscribed to each other's channels. So it was really cool to have him kind of part of my journey and me part of his journey. But he said, how did you get into reselling? Do you have a booth? And what are your favorite items to sell and thrift? So 3 questions. Yay. Hi, everybody. There's a couple people watching. Cool. All right, awesome. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Go ahead and type them in. I'm going to go ahead and get through these first, though. So Will, how did I get into reselling? Well, by watching people like you. I've been watching resellers on YouTube for a while, and it's just been fun, and it's something that I kind of did in my spare time. After work, I would, get all the things that I needed to get done and feed the cats and start dinner, and then I'd go and sit down and put my feet up and I'd watch people thrifting, and it was so fun and fascinating, and I was so jealous of some of the fun things that they were picking up. And then I started noticing that not only were they thrifting, but they were making pretty decent money doing it. And it's something that I've always been interested in. There's always been this sort of passion in me to not just collect really fun, amazing things, but also to share those things with other people and hopefully make a little bit of money doing it. And I've thought in the past about trying to get into like estate selling. There was a show that I watched years ago. I don't even know if it's still on HGTV called Cash and Carrie, and the girl's name was Carrie. And people would hire her to like go and liquidate estates of their parents or grandparents or whatever. These big houses full of amazing stuff that nobody wanted to deal with. And I thought, oh my God, that would be a dream job for me. I would have to obviously keep myself from buying everything, but it would be a lot of fun. So anyways, watching YouTubers doing it and thinking one day, you know what, maybe I could try that for myself. Maybe this old guy could actually figure out how to edit videos and put videos on YouTube like the 20-year-olds are doing. Haven't got into TikTok and all that yet. That I'm a little apprehensive about, but the YouTube thing was something I just sort of decided to jump into. I just started doing it in October. I think October 15th was when I posted my first video. So next month in April, it will be 6 months. And it was my goal from the very beginning to have 1,000 subscribers by the time I hit my 6-month mark. And I only need 200 more to get there. should definitely have 800 subscribers tonight. I'm at like 798. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, you better do it. But that's what sort of got me into reselling, and now here I am, and I'm pretty deep into it now, and I'm having so much fun. Like, this is my fun job, so it's really exciting, and I enjoy it a lot. I do not have a booth yet. I actually plan this weekend to submit my application to the antique mall that is down the street from my house. It's called the Brass Armadillo. They do have several locations throughout the United States, like 5 or 6, and they have 2 here in the Valley. One is very, very close to me, and the other one is kind of further away on the west side of, like, southwest side of town. Either place would be obviously great to be in, but I'd like to be in the one closer to my house if I can. So I would really like to get that application submitted, and they've got a waiting list, obviously. But if I get approved, then I'll have like a little cubby. It won't be a big giant booth, but it'll be a nice little cubicle that I can put some things in, especially some of the bigger things that I've collected, and maybe see if I can get those sold and get some passive income from that. And then my favorite items to sell and thrift. Well, selling, I love selling anything. Thrifting, I guess I'm sort of drawn more to pottery, obviously. Studio pottery, Talavera. I guess that's something I just feel comfortable with, and I always have. Something else that I really, really love to buy, and I would love to start thrifting, but it is not readily available where I live, is jewelry. I know a lot about vintage jewelry. My grandmother and I would go to garage sales and estate sales when I was little. And she taught me a lot of different things to look for, in costume jewelry, but upscale costume jewelry. So, Monet and Sarah Coventry and Hattie Carnegie and people like that. Really beautiful vintage jewelry pieces. So that's something I would love to be able to get into, but the Goodwills in my area don't really sell a lot of jewelry. They don't have a lot of lock cases. I don't know if they just sell the things online or what they do, but that's not something that's really available to me. But those are definitely some things that I enjoy thrifting. And I mean, everything. I love everything I buy. Everything I buy is something I would keep, for the most part, keep for myself. There are a couple of things I've purchased that I just bought because I knew they would sell, and I probably wouldn't necessarily have picked them up otherwise. But for the most part, everything I buy is something I would want to keep. So next question comes from G Cars TGC. And that is, there's a couple of questions actually. What is your absolute most awesome find, not necessarily financially? And do you need to travel a bit to keep finding fresh places? I do need to travel a bit to keep finding fresh places, obviously. I definitely kind of have my rotation, and if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know which places those are. I did hit some new places in some of my videos, and I haven't been back to those because they were a little further away. So it'd be nice to try to get to those places over the next few weeks, so we can hit them again. I live in a big city. I live in Phoenix. I live in a really big city. So there's a lot of Goodwills. There are 4, like 5 Goodwills within just a few miles of my house. So even if I didn't travel very far, I would still have a pretty decent rotation, and I could just hit one of those every day during the week, and boom, we'd be good. But I like to kind of get out and travel a little bit more and find some different places. So yes, that is definitely something that I need to do. And what's my absolute most favorite find or awesome find? It says, well, I mean, if you saw the video recently where I picked up that Blanco clown vase, that was a pretty awesome find. I've already had several people message me on eBay about it, and they're deliberating. They're trying to, move some funds around and figure it out. But there's definitely a lot of interest in it. I think there's like 22 people watching it right now. So I'm really excited to see where that goes. I don't know a tremendous lot about art glass, but I'm learning. I did buy a little book and I'm trying to read every night and learn a little bit more about it. And obviously watch Crazy Lamp Lady because she knows a lot about it. Jocelyn, she's great. So there are definitely resources that I'm trying to use to learn more about glass. Um, but that was definitely an awesome find. Overall, I've been thrifting for my whole life since I was a little kid. So I can't say what is the most awesome find. There are quite a few things that I've found over the years and some things that I still have that mean a lot to me and that I loved. When I was planning on purchasing my first home, I knew that I wanted a bright yellow living room. And so I went to Savers and on a mission in my brain, I was putting it out into the universe. And I walked into the furniture section and there was this gorgeous, practically brand new bright yellow floral couch, big, long, gorgeous couch from the 60s. No stains, no smell, like practically brand new. And I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it was something insanely cheap, like $20. And so, of course, I bought it. And then I thought, oh my God, well, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to get this home? I still lived with my mom. So, what was I going to do with it until I actually moved out? We wound up putting it in the living room and it got ruined. So that sucked. But those are obviously other fantastic finds through the years. So I hope that answered your question. I know I rambled on a bit and I see that there's lots of stuff going on over here. And I will definitely take a look at that to see if there's any questions as soon as I'm done with these few that I've got. So Knit Sweater Man said, did someone in your family resell through your life? No, I'm the first one. But like I said before, my grandmother was really influential in the whole like garage sale thing. So a lot of pieces that I have in my home are not only pieces that she thrifted through the years at mostly at yard sales, estate sales, things like that. Goodwill wasn't as big of a thing back then when I was growing up. But after she passed, I got all her stuff. After she and my mom both passed away, I inherited all of our things. And unlike most people, I did not call somebody to come and take it all away. I just bought a bigger house and I brought it all home because it was all my part of my life too. It was the things I grew up with. So she was a big estate sailor. And when I was spending time with her, we would go together. And so that's how I learned a lot about different things and kind of sparked my passion for reselling and for thrifting for sure. Leslie Walk 7927 said, I'm curious to know about the financial side of reselling. Do you need to set up a business number and name or register your business with the government? Did I need to hire an accountant to do my taxes? And how much does that cost? Do I separate personal and business receipts? Can I write off part of my mortgage, et cetera, et cetera? To be honest with you, because I just absolutely just started this, I didn't make enough money doing it the last 2 months of last year to really have to worry about it too much. This year, obviously, for 2024's taxes, I will need to worry about it a little bit more. I am registering, or I have registered my name with the government, the name Rami's Retro, so that no one else can kind of take that name from me. And that's really all I have to do right now. I can become a business like an LLC or a corporation. I've looked into both of those and what the differences are a little bit, but I haven't like pulled the trigger on any of that yet because I don't necessarily need to. It's not like I have a brick and mortar store or employees or anything like that. So it doesn't need to be that big yet. Maybe one day. So I'm not doing this all by myself. But right now it's in my house, as you saw the other day, and it's me by myself. I don't have any employees. So I haven't really thought about all of the tax part of it yet. All of that will be things that I will tackle probably this time next year. But I do have everything kind of organized and separated, and a nice little box of receipts that I will bring to the lucky person. I've always done my own taxes, and I guess next year will be the first year where I won't probably be able to, because I'm sure that there are a lot of things that I can write off. Not obviously my entire mortgage, but because part of my house is going to be a storage area, probably this room will become a storage area for my fines. I'll be able to write off certain parts of it, I'm sure. So I will just have to do a little bit more research and figure out a little bit more about that. So I can't completely answer your question, but it's definitely important, if you are going to do something like this, that you at least get your name, that you own the name of whatever it is that you're going to have, whatever your business name is going to be. And like I said, for me, it's obviously Rami's Retro, so I didn't want anybody else to take that. Not that there are a lot of Ramis out there, but you never know. So that's all been done. Denise Ronaldo asked, what is your favorite find? Well, it kind of goes along with that Blanco glass. Some of the things from my childhood, that couch. My grandmother found this little, when we were garage sailing one time, she found this little old, I don't know what it is, like a little postcard or something, and it's got like a goat on it, and it's got some sort of biblical scripture on it or something like that, and she put it in a little frame for me. I was probably 13 or something, and so and I put it beside my bed, and it's been beside my bed ever since. So that's something that's really special to me. Another furniture piece, there's a couple of chairs that she and I bought at a garage sale one year that were actually hers, and then after she passed, they became mine. So lots of different favorite finds over the years. And I'm sure now that I've started with this, that there will be many more. Colleen858 asked, how frequently do you get eBay sales? Quite often, actually. I had 3 today and 2 yesterday. And probably within the past 7 days, I've had about 15. So I would say, to average it out, I probably get about 4 or 5 a week. Sometimes more, sometimes 2-3 days go by and nothing happens. Sometimes on Sundays, I try to take a big chunk of my day to list about 20, 25, 30 items. It takes a while. And sometimes 2 or 3 things sell, boom, just like that. So at least I know I'm picking up some cool stuff. Other things have lots of watchers. People like to watch. I'm that way too. I've been eBaying since 2000, and most of my eBay transactions have been me as a buyer and not a seller. I have sold things on eBay before I started all of this. I had sold things on eBay for many years. Little things here and there because I wanted to get rid of them and have a little extra cash in my pocket. Nothing major, nothing huge, gigantic. Definitely nothing of this caliber. But as a buyer on eBay, I mean, there's many times where I would, search for things and then follow them, watch them for a couple weeks, see if the price changed, see if they put it on sale, all those kinds of things. So I'm sure that a lot of people are doing that with a lot of my auctions as well. But I do have a pretty successful, for me anyway, a pretty successful eBay side business. Like I said, I didn't make enough money in November and December to really warrant having to deal with any kind of tax stuff, but I will definitely this year probably need to include it as an income, as a steady income for sure. Rebecca asked, my absolute favorite things to find and what makes me thrilled to get my hands on. And she likes vintage tablecloths. Well, I like vintage linens too. They're definitely fun. I kind of already answered this question in a roundabout sort of way. I would love to get my hands on more jewelry items. I really like pottery. I'm learning more about glass, but I think that glass items are really beautiful and fun, and that they sell really well. I know a lot about sort of, I don't know, like metal items. I know the difference between like brass and silver and pewter. I like picking up just old fun things. I like old banks, chalkware. if there was more chalkware at the Goodwill that wasn't damaged. I really love chalkware pieces and paper mache pieces. Like a lot of the stuff that's behind me here, you know, all these items behind me. I mean, this is my sewing room. So all these guys behind me here are pin cushions, my little pin cushion collection. But I mean, these are all like a kind of a composite material. And they're old. This one's from Arnart. We've bought stuff from Arnart before. Hong Horizons made a lot of things like this, and they were, you could put like your little lipsticks and stuff down here. And I've got quite a few of those. But she's a little Princess Leia pin cushion. So different, fun, crazy 60s and 70s, ugly, weird, scary things, I guess. Some people think that, you know, stuff like this is really weird and creepy and scary, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. I have it all over my house. So those are my favorite things to pick up. And that was all the questions. So I don't know if you guys had any questions in here. Looks like I got some more resellers on. So I'm glad for that. Thank you. It's very nice to meet you. Thank you for subscribing, Chad. I appreciate that. Do I do tag sales and estate sales as well? I would like to. I would like to start doing that. I guess I'm nervous about filming at them because I don't want to like offend anybody, especially at an estate sale. If it's in someone's house, I'm uncomfortable about filming that way. But it's definitely totally on me, because I'm sure if I went to the person that said, hey, you know, this is what I do, they'd be like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I'm just nervous because I'm new and I've never done it before, and it's new to me. So definitely something I'd like to look into doing, though, because I love garage sales and yard sales and all that type of stuff. And you can find really amazing things that aren't damaged. That's where I would find really cool chalkware pieces and, you know, all the beautiful stuff that I do love to collect that hasn't been through the ringer at at the Goodwill. You know, pottery pieces like Capodimonte, you know, those Italian pottery pieces with the beautiful flowers and things. As soon as those get to eBay or get to Goodwill, forget it. They're done. It's over. They're going to get all chipped and banged up. But if you find them at a nice estate sale and somebody just wants to get rid of them for $5, sign me up. I'm here. I will save that. I will save that little piece. So let me see who else is on here. All right. Nobody else had any questions, I guess. What do I sew? I sew. I haven't sewn for a while, which is why I'm probably going to turn this room into my storage room and put the sewing machines away for a little bit. But I make different things for, like for dressing up, like for the holidays. I'll make little outfits for me. I made clothes in high school mostly. There was a robe that I fell in love with at a thrift store years and years and years ago, and I wore it out. So it basically fell apart on my body. I used it for 25 years probably. So I cut it up into its pieces and patterned it out and made a new robe for myself. So different things. I mean, I would like to get more into sewing, and that was definitely part of the plan. So I got this room all cleaned up and set up, and my sewing machines all set up. And then I started doing this. So this has kind of taken over all of the other things that I really love to do. I love to sew. I love to paint. I've always, my entire life, wanted to be a writer. So I love writing. All of that stuff is in the next room over. My little art studio and my typewriter, my computer, all of that. But this has kind of taken over right now. So, and I don't mind. I'm really excited. I'm loving doing this and loving having all of you as my little community, and sharing ideas and learning about things together. It's just been so great. And I love it a lot. It's not something I thought I ever would do. The selling of things is definitely something I've always kind of wanted to do, but not in this way. Not on YouTube for sure. But I love it. It's fantastic and it's exciting. Am I originally from Canada? A Canadian accent? Well, no, I'm not. I've been told that before, that I sound like I'm from somewhere else, but I was born and raised right here in Scottsdale, Arizona. So I don't know if what it is. Maybe I don't know. My friends have always said I say things weird. Married, they say I pronounce the ed at the end. I don't hear that, but they say that I do. Um, I don't know. I can't think of any of the other words right now that I say strange, but they say that I do. I don't know. My grandmother had a very heavy accent from Yugoslavia, so maybe growing up with people that talked funny made me talk funny. I don't know. I don't hear it, so I'm not sure. But I say a boot. Oh, I might. I'm not saying that you're a liar. I just don't hear it. All right. Well, thank you guys again. I'm not going to keep you all night. 25 minutes, I think, is pretty decent, but I appreciate your questions and your comments and all of you being a part of this wonderful journey with me. Um, and I know I don't know you guys, but I really do love you very much. It means a lot to to have you guys with me and supporting me and shopping with me and encouraging me to move forward. It's great. So thank you. I hope I could give a little bit back to you tonight. And if you guys have any other questions, I mean, type them out and I'll send you responses. But um, if that's going to be it, then someone else has. Thank you for sharing time with it. Oh, you're welcome. I loved it. So thank you guys, and have a great night. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.